Okay, so Hey, are you able to get in touch with the what's it called, the low T people, and see what bank that is? Or actually, maybe I can just look myself. Now that I think about it. Commonwealth Bank. Okay, cool. Do you want to go to lunch and we'll go to maybe Carindale and the Commonwealth Bank's there, and we'll put that money in? Is that okay?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this thing to take me all fucking morning. I've installed another software, but it's got a problem with my password. Like I put my password in, and I'm getting into their Wondershare thing, but it's the app. The application is not registering the password. The other one.
Video size reducer. There's it's a YouTube video.
Well, at first I just thought that they were freckles, very unattractive blob things on.
In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at how to resize video using an app called Handbrake. So if you watch my previous
Handbrake
video
is this
stock
one?
footage, if you didn't yet,
Have you heard of that one?
In the description down below.
This one
In
really
that
drags
video,
up.
I show you how to get free stock footage. In this
mounting
video,
my
I'll show you how to edit
password,
the
just-
size and resolution of that free stock footage to fit your needs on your website. Well, we're getting started right now. Compressing videos probably seems pretty daunting, but it's actually pretty easy with this app I'm going to show you. And if you watched my previous video from a couple days ago, where I show you how to find stock video online to use for free, you might need to compress some of it because some of these videos are quite large. This one, for example, is 4K, or at least you can download it in 4K. If you click on free download, you choose 4K. You can also choose 720p, 1080p, and one that I don't know. What's this, 440p? I don't even know. Anyway, you can choose various sizes, but not all sites allow you to do that.
Honestly, some people just make sure I'm trying to help you. Oh, freaking dude from Night. Hello.
Hello, how we doing?
Good. How are you?
Sorry about that. Thank you for sending me through a message.
Oh, I didn't mean to harass, but it's like I can, sometimes you just get busy and it's like, oh, is it that time already?
Yeah, certainly the way.
It's actually cool to hear an Aussie voice again. I don't get
Yeah,
Americans all
I
the
guess
time.
I guess you chat with a few guys out of New Zealand, and there's a few of us here now, right?
There is, which is good. But a lot of the time I'm speaking to US people. So it's
Too
like,
easy. Well, this makes sense why we get you in like reasonable times, because everything else is at like 7 a.m. in the morning or
I know.
1 at
when I
night.
find out they're from Australia, I'm like, oh, here, let's book a proper time because it's like, yeah. So
Yeah, a time where it's not out of the sequence, or the other time that usually becomes available is people want to book when all your classes are on, and you're like,
Yes.
I need to go teach.
After 3:00, 2:30, no, there's no point. You're getting ready for classes and doing all of that. So yeah. The other day I actually missed a webinar that I was hosting because at 4 a.m. because no one over there told me, oh, just so you know, Kezia, daylight savings comes into play.
And we're all out by an hour. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a meeting with Logan that I think, with Logan Snyder, that I was out by an hour for in exactly the same way. And I know our daylight saving catches up in like 2 weeks. So he's like, I'll just wear it for 2 weeks, an earlier time, and then we don't have to move things back and forth. So
Yes. Alrighty. So you had some requests. How can I help?
okay. So I look after. I have my own venue, which is 2550, and then I help David out with his venue, which is 2396.
Yep.
Basically, what we're doing at the moment is we're using the Spark website, but we're not using a whole bunch of the we're not using a whole bunch of the rest of the automation, because we just found our clients were just feeling like they were getting overloaded and bombarded by us. And we have quite a strong VA team. And so in combination, our customers were just telling us it's too much and to kind of back off. So we're having a look. What we've done is we've pulled back all of our automation currently, and then we're going to slowly bring back in bits of that automation. We had a whole bunch of things set up when we started the website, when there was virtual stuff, when there's like all the things
Are you still doing virtual?
We are not.
No, yeah.
We haven't been doing that since, I don't know, since they told us we could go back 9 months ago.
Yeah.
And so all of
go back to normal.
And then there's a bunch of things on the website which says like in person and things like that. And we're like, well, all of our classes are in person, but now I've got this duplication across like 30 different pages that I need to change the in person on. There's some other things like that, issues on the Spark website. And then we've got all the memberships that were created, and then I can't delete any of the combination of checkout pages that think they're using the Ignite stuff. You can't delete the Ignite stuff from the checkout page. Like if it's got a membership or something that's related, even if you're not using it, because this membership has to go somewhere. So you get to this point where you can't delete it you can't delete a membership that's not working. You can't delete the checkout page that's not working. You can't delete the thing that's been set up inside the checkout page, like the checkout item. You can't delete that either.
Product.
So I'm kind of stuck with having like 30 memberships that we're not using and a whole bunch of checkout pages that I just can't delete, aren't in use, and are just like filling up my areas. It's more that it's just kind of messy and people can get confused, or we could have links live that I don't want to have live. And I'm just trying to clean up the back end for both venues. Cool.
Okay. Do you want to share screen with me and show me? Yeah, cool.
disabled. I need an enabling
Oh,
of
sorry,
sharing
yeah.
screen.
Yeah, no worries. They should be right.
Cool. Sorry, I'll just jump. You don't need to see my banking things or my other stuff. I will just get out of a bunch of this stuff and we'll start again fresh. Let's go here. Sweet. I guess I could start from either end because both ends kind of have me stalled on what I can do. So if I go into my memberships, let's have a look. I think I was able to delete mine. I'm just going to bring up David's because he has a lot more going on than I do. He's been open for 7-8 years, and I opened 2 weeks before COVID.
Oh, nice, nice.
So it's been a roller coaster ride. Things
Well,
are looking pretty good right now.
The thing is, you can go, I've been through the hardest times. It's only going to get easier from here.
Yeah. So David does not have this many memberships. Basically, I've dropped all the memberships that he's not using down to the bottom of his page, but at least the memberships, all these virtual memberships, are definitely not being used. And I don't know how to delete them. And then there's a bunch of others. And so I guess if I had a pathway, like I can do most of this stuff myself.
What comes up when you go delete?
Yep, so let's try and delete one of these. So when we try to delete it, it brings up it's in use, and then you can go to edit the checkout page. So this is a direct link rather than clicking into the checkout page. And so it doesn't even have a purchase item. I think I've deleted the purchase item, but if I try to delete this, it's going to say that it's stopped because it's a membership. So
Mini Kids Martial Arts. Okay, cool. Okay, alrighty. All right, so we've got memberships, checkouts. And so on Mini Kids, do you want to just jump over to the Mini Kids automation and see what happens when you try to delete that one? Just so I can see it and I understand, and then I can go back to the programmers.
Yeah, I don't know if I've gone through and deleted the whole.
Did you?
I think we've put the automations on hold as opposed to deleting them.
Yeah, I agree. Because, yeah, you'll want to probably... Oh, well, see, but the virtual ones you're not going to keep anyway, are you?
Beg your pardon?
The virtual automations, you're not going to keep them anyway, are you?
No, we are not.
So do you want to try and delete that? What happens when you... There at the top there, delete all. Is it delete all? Delete whole series.
Okay, so then if we go back to the membership, we can probably
should be able to do
delete
that
it from there,
now.
right?
Well, that's the theory, isn't it? Let's have a look.
Yeah, well, I got most of the way down the chain and then I was like, I feel like I'm stuck here and didn't know what the next part
So
of
go
that
to the
would
Mini
be.
Kids, yeah, Mini Kids, and over on the right to delete.
Where am I at?
There's a fourth one up. Yeah.
Yep, cool. Okay, so we still have to delete the...
Yep, so see if we can go down and delete that one.
Okay, well, that's a step further because it hasn't let me delete. Yeah. It's the fourth one. Hooray!
Yay. So the virtual ones should be easy for you to just get rid of those because you just need to go automation.
Yeah, get rid of the 3 parts of the cycle, right?
Yeah, and that'll take the whole of those. But let's talk about the other ones then that you are because to make sure that you're not deleting things that you possibly may reactivate or react a part of or edit to then utilize those, because the structure is, it works well for Ignite automations. You just might need to change the frequency of messages and maybe the message wording. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, well, I guess it's obviously a conversation to be had of, I'm guessing you talk most often with the Australian guys. Do you have much feedback on what the rest of the market in Australia is actually saying when we're rolling this out? Just because I can tell you from our venues that our parents are being like, this is 6 messages and an appointment message the day before, an appointment message, calls to check we're coming in, how much is too much?
Yeah, I guess it can depend on, because I have 2 schools of my own. And I have a booking caller, I have salespeople, I have reception people, and I'm actually finding that we do the text message beforehand, the day before, the text message the day of. We've actually added in that my team send a video text as well on the day of in the morning. And we're finding that really increases our show up rate.
We have a VA calling to go, hey, your appointment's on today in the afternoon, just checking that you're coming in. So I'm guessing a similar thing where you're putting some more resources into.
My resource is a little bit easier in that sense. It's a video of the instructor going, hey, you're coming along. It's just one video they've done, and we use the same video every time. So the resources are easier because people don't answer their phone. But they're happy to look at a message.
Can you send that video from Spark?
No, I've been asking. You can do it from the US. You can't do it from Australia. So I'm going to, and that's not them. It's Twilio, which is who they use for their SMS. So
yeah,
the US are going to have that in place soon, because I'm like, well, it works. I get 20% extra show up rate.
Basically an authority enhancer video, or I don't know, I think Roncel talked about this, where you can stick this in like your checkout pages, but we found then on the checkout pages, because the way that it templates for mobile, if you put too much stuff in the kind of I guess the side bracket, it actually comes up ahead of the offer. And it actually is like a lot of scrolling to get to the thing of pay the money.
Yeah, I find that what you can do, and what I've got in some of the funnels, is to actually have after the calendar. So it depends on what your funnels looks like. What does yours look like? So it goes from the Ignite website to your checkout, from your checkout to your calendar, yes?
No. So depends where they come to us from. So if they come to us from our website, which is SEO driven and our better kind of customers, we kind of try to hard sell them. So we do go through that checkout to scheduler.
Yeah.
But Logan recommended for our Facebook to go from our Facebook ad to our Ignite website, straight to a scheduler, and then to the checkout page. And so we've had to mess around with the system a whole lot to be able to do that. And basically it's a softer entry. If they agree that they're going to come in, we reckon we can get their card and their other details. The hardest thing is to get them to book that trial.
Yeah, so this is what I do, okay? Is mine's the same. I don't go to checkout, but I don't have paid offers. Mine's a free offer. But yeah, we go straight to scheduler. So yeah, so whether it's a website to there or Facebook to website to there, because we use Logan as well. And I don't do the checkout part of it. But even though I do the scheduler, I actually have a thank you page after that then goes, and there's a video on there saying, hey, so glad you booked in. This is what's going to happen. Make sure you wear clothes that, you can do sport in. Bring a drink bottle because it's a good little workout. And hey, if there's any reason you can't come, please let us know, because, we do get booked out and we can make that time available for others. But I know you're going to get there because you're going to love it. Come and share martial arts with us. It's cool. So it sort
When
of says
now-
that.
When they go through the scheduler page and they schedule their class, they have to click another button, which is like continue or whatever, right?
Yeah, they have
So they
one there
schedule.
to book into, like, add it to their diary.
Yeah, but to get to that next page, they've actually got to click like a button that says, I can't even remember what it says, but I was trying to get Spark to get rid of that. So the second that they schedule their session, that it redirects them straight to the page that I want them to go to, because I was finding, because we're going scheduler and trying to get them to checkout page, we're losing a lot of people in that process with the extra click.
Oh, so you go scheduler to checkout page after that.
That's what we're doing through our Facebook ads.
Okay,
Yes.
how's that going? Do they pay?
Eventually, yes.
Okay. Do they show up if they don't pay?
Some do, yes. Quite a lot do.
Okay.
But we were trying to get the softer entry. Basically, if they schedule their class, they start to, they're in that.
Committed.
Yeah, well, they've committed to something, and also now they're going to get sent the text, and then they're going to get the call going, "Hey, you coming in today?" And then Logan's kind of thought was, once somebody comes into your venue, you can call them up and you can get their card details, or you can call them up and go, "Hey, you haven't paid for that trial. Can I get you to give me your details over the phone, and we'll get it right now?"
Or do you have any other
however that's
things that we
gonna
can
sort out.
talk about? Yeah.
Yeah, so it gives you an opportunity to also call, like a reason to be on that phone call, not just, "Hey, are you coming in today?" Which I think is a valid reason to call people, because I think the same as your video message is just going to be an amplifier. People are going to show up when they feel, oh, they've told me where to park, they've told me what to do, they've asked me on the
And
day.
they see that face too. I think that's why I like that part afterwards with the thank you part there. Yeah.
Well, an authority amplifier is what they called it, is, because you're setting the pathway, they now know the teacher. So they walk in and they immediately go, "Oh, I saw you in the video."
Yeah.
They walk up to that person, they feel like a little bit
Like they
more
know 'em.
comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a bit of story about you. They walk into the venue and they're like, "Hey, Aaron, I know you from the video," and you don't know who they are, but it's more important for them to feel comfortable than
Exactly.
us
Yeah.
to feel,
We'll fumble our way through. And we're in
Yeah.
an environment we feel comfortable in anyway. They're not. So yeah. Alrighty. So okay. Well, I just want to try and help you to introduce back in Ignite the best way that it can work for you. And so you're going website. So let's just start off with one. So how's it going with your Facebook ones to Ignite to the scheduler? So okay, so if they go to there, so if they go onto your website, if they don't go, or they don't actually go to your scheduler, we have goal 1, which then is to sell them on that trial. And to, so that would be, I guess there, so that would normally take, oh, you can have that cake. You can use goal 1 and adjust it and just use your scheduler link in there instead of a checkout link. And you would need a different automation set up for that funnel than your website one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I've got two paths where I'm doing different things from.
Yeah.
Basically. I don't know right now how we're going to use Ignite, or how good it's going to be for us. I think the website is very good. All the landing pages are really good. So what was set up on that end, and it's really good to go from Facebook to that. Whereas the hard sell for people that actually want to find out about, that have typed in, martial arts in my area, they don't necessarily want to end up on that page. It's kind of they want to know your timetable, and they want to know different things.
They do want to know timetables and prices is pretty much what it comes down to. And so, that can be where they put in their opt-in form in a different way there. With your website, what's the domain again?
I'll just send it in the text box. How do I get back to text?
Down the bottom should be a chat.
No, that's the chat for not our Zoom call.
Oh, I agree.
One sec.
Maybe unshare.
There you go. You right click on the faces and then it gives you access to
Oh.
chat.
There you go. Okay, cool. All right, I'll just jump on that one.
So we've just changed across. We were doing 7-day trials and we're in the process of changing across to all paid trials across our venues. We're not having issues with getting numbers into our gyms. We're having trouble with the quality. So basically like David's gym, which is 8 years old, he went from kind of 0 to, I don't know, 400 or 500 students across that time, and slow gradual growth. My gym that's kind of been running for 9 months is sitting at almost 200 members in that time. So it's fast growth, lots of people in through the door, but also lots of them are coming from Facebook, which means they don't show up, they don't sign up as often. It's not the same as somebody who's typed into a web browser, martial arts in my area, and then found you almost entirely through SEO or have found you through the community that already exists. So I would say his gym is quite an organically grown gym, and my gym is kind of like we've hit the NOS on it, and it's doing a totally different thing. But yeah, that's I feel if I at least frame what's going on for you,
I understand that totally, because we've got 2 schools, and one is long established and is our big school, and the other one opened, about 6 months before COVID, and so it's been a Facebook one, and yes, so they it's just different. And
yeah, so I guess you've got a similar trajectory to me, or a similar story, kind of to the way that we're actually operating, which is cool to have like a mirror gym somewhere else.
Yes, it is. And our thing is like the staffing of it is probably because we've got to, combine between the two. And then over COVID, we lost some staff. But then, to have those people coming back in, it's now all going, getting there. But yeah, Facebook is definitely I don't need to do Facebook at our big established school because we just get enough from everything else. And I spend the money on the other one to then have Facebook working now.
I've been driving in their new programs and their weakest programs, but their strong programs are basically full. So anything that's full, you don't need to spend on.
That's right.
Well, you can to keep growing the pool of names and the pool of things. Like you can have a tiny spend, which Logan's like never cut the spend off.
It's true. Yeah, don't because you always need them. But we do a lot of birthday parties, so that we always have.
We do not. That's cool.
Oh, we do tons of birthday parties. That's our biggest lead generator, and so that just we do everything else, and that on top of it just makes it easy. I know, like every week we come in that we've got 120 leads sitting there, brand new, who just came into our club. They've been in,
and it's all kids, right?
Yeah.
The second you go in birthday parties, so that's a huge.
Have you seen the Ignite RSVP system for birthday parties?
No, I have not.
So before I even joined Spark and saw Ignite, we had a really good birthday party system. It was excellent. And I had all the different things, automations happening and all of that, but it was all Band-Aid together. But the Ignite one, as soon as I saw that, I went, that's better than mine. It integrates with Spark, and that was it. I was done. So, and how it works is the whole RSVP that you set it up so that people you put in the birthday party details, and the parent then will go to that link. You get 2 links, and the parent will go to one link is for all the guests to go and put their name and details in there to say they're coming to the party. Then they go through to the waiver. And then the other one is for the parent of the child who's having the party, because a lot of the time they would actually go, how many people are coming? Did this person RSVP? And, you know, things like that. They just want to know about their party. But really, we're like, dude, like, we'll be fine. We've got lots of room. We got lots of space. It'll all work. But so it's a link so the parent can go on and see who has RSVP'd, and they can even put in other people's details so that they can see who is coming and put all the information in. But just
And
recently,
do you charge per head with those kind of things, or?
my parties are, we have 3 packages. Everybody, like, not everybody does it different, to be honest. Everybody does it really cheap and we don't. Our parties are average $580 to $680. We actually, and we do, 2, 3, 4 on a weekend. And we actually have unlimited guests. And that's one of the key things of our parties, because I'm like, I don't care how many people you got. We
This
run
many
it.
staff, it's this much space.
Exactly. And the more people, honestly, you get about 30 kids. And I give out 40 invitations. If you want more, just ask me and I'll give you more. And we do everything for the party. It's 2 hours. They love it. I get, 30 leads. And they get good value. And in honesty, it's a great income booster. I love that my club is working all weekend for me as well. It's also really good for my leadership team, because they all work it. So I got 2 people who work it and the rest are all volunteer leaders. I have 3. I have 1 paid leader, so they know that there's something to go to with my leadership team. And then the other ones are all volunteers. But it teaches them how to work, it teaches them how to talk to people, all different things like that. So it's definitely. And recently, so a couple of weeks, I think about a month ago, Ignite released our birthday party mega pack. Did you see that on the Facebook group?
Obviously, we haven't been doing birthday parties, so it's not something that I've paid particular attention to.
No.
Do you mind if I hit a record on this, just because there's a bunch of things that you're talking about that we're not doing that I think are super
No problem.
interesting.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Let me bring that up.
Can you do that on there? Does that?
Otherwise,
I can record it.
I need permission from you to record.
Yep. How I give that to you? I'm recording it anyway because it all happens automatically. I can just send you the link after if you want.
Yeah, that'll work.
Because then you'll have all of it.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll send you that link. Because I don't know how to do it now. It'll work. I'll send it to you. So with the birthday parties, Ignite released the birthday party mega pack. So what that's got in it, it's got a whole heap of artwork in there that you can edit on Canva, on a free Canva account. So you can brand it all to your.
Yeah, I've got my own Canva account and play in Photoshop and Illustrator and a bunch of different things.
Perfect.
So
there's a whole heap of things already done for you, so you can take them and use them or do your own. But it's got invitations. It's got the RSVP part, like that you put on the invitation. It's got flyers and banners and pull-up banners and a whole heap of different things in there. And it's got all the emails that go to the party guests as well afterwards. And as well on our website, we added some extra pages for the website. So there's a whole funnel that they go through. So what we do is we actually we'll have the domain name is for us, it's focusmartialarts.com.au/party-RSVP. So instead of giving the Spark link that I get for every party, I give the one link, and that one link goes to my website. On there, on that new page, it subtly sells, hey, birthday parties, martial arts, but go and RSVP to your party. So they can scroll down, choose their party, they click on that, it links into Spark where they do all the RSVP. Then afterwards, it goes through the waiver. Then afterwards, it goes back to my website as a thank you. Hey, thanks, welcome, let's see you at the party. And then again, it sells parties and it sells classes. And when I put that funnel in place, because I always had that RSVP page on my other site anyway, but then I was like, okay, I've got an Ignite site. I need this page. So we have that. But I've also put the thank you at the end to sell parties. I had on the first 10 days, I had 7 new party leads and sold 2 parties because of it.
Sweet.
Mm.
That's really cool. I'm actually having a look through your page now. You're running fitness kickboxing as well.
Yes.
Under Rod?
No, I just run it. We have our own.
Yeah, we diverted pretty quickly off as well. My paid trials for that are the hottest thing that we've got going.
Yeah.
$39, pair of gloves valued at $65, 2 weeks unlimited.
Cool.
Is like, it's, yeah, outselling every other deal that I've got across the board, and I only target women for those classes. So all my advertising is in women. And I'm happy to share all the stuff. If you're working with Logan as well, then, you know, anything that I've got running as far as video and other bits and pieces, you're in Brisbane, like, you know.
Yeah, it's not like I'm competition, but yeah.
No,
Really
it's
cool.
like, if we can find things that we're bouncing off each other, then that's really cool. I'm just
what's your time schedules for your fitness kickboxing? That's just been added, so they're not the prices. And just so you know, I'm happy to fix it
because
today.
you said they're between like 580.
Oh yeah. I so I'm gonna
680,
fix
right?
it
They're way more
today
expensive.
because someone will go there.
And we'll book this immediately,
I
right?
know, and it's like, no, it's not that price. So that's the new, that part of the website's coming out. Mine was the test site that they did, and so we're finalizing. It'll come out probably next week.
Okay, and you're just setting time slots in your calendar for this that people can book.
No, they don't. No, it just comes through to my staff and we call them. It's different with parties because whilst we have set time slots for our parties, I like to try and go, well, hey, if I can swindle you to have all the parties close together, it's better for my staffing.
Yeah.
So the parties are one thing they can't just book. They can, put in their details. We reply to them, and we call them. It's mostly we call those ones straight away, and get them booked in. But we do, sometimes honestly, some people try and book it for like Mother's Day, and we're going, you realize that's Mother's Day, don't you? Like, oh, okay, no, we won't have that date. So yeah, we have to intervene there.
So I've just got a schedule up in front of me just so you can see. Basically, these pink and these like skin kind of tone ones are our women's only classes and our mixed classes for fitness kickboxing.
Okay.
And I've just kept expanding the roster as we've grown those classes. I've gone, does anybody want to run this other thing? So basically, we've already got a strong kickboxing group, and we just went to all our leaders in the kickboxing. Who wants to run? And so we picked up like 6 teachers.
Okay.
And we're running it at both our venues.
Okay.
My venue's easier to get to in the mornings and daytimes, whereas theirs is in an industrial zone. So they're running all night times. They have 2 mats. I have 1 mat. So I'm trying to really abuse all the times that my gym can be open.
Yeah,
Similar to what you're doing in how do I keep my gym as active as it can be as often as possible, because that's just, if your lights aren't on, you're not making any money.
Exactly. We find that our 9 o'clock sessions are our most popular because they've just dropped their kids off at school.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a spot that I haven't even really thought about, which might be better than, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
But our 6 a.m.s are getting 15 people to them now, like 10
That's
to 15 people.
It's a different market is what it comes down to, because 6 a.m. people, they won't usually come at 9, but the 9 a.m.s, it's just a different market, and it's really good because pretty much 90% of them put their kids into martial arts classes as well.
Yeah, that was the idea. If you get if you get the women between 25 and 45 coming in, that's just going to flow through your whole venue. And it's going to make also, because you've got this female dominated kind of area of your gym with female teachers, it helps the balance not be like martial arts or men or, you know, like, and I was thinking a similar thing when I put these lunchtime classes on at 12 and 1 o'clock, is that I'd be able to pick up mums that have dropped off their kids at school and have that daytime period free, or have lunch break or whatever. That
I don't know.
maybe
I'd be surprised if
work.
those get 9 o'clock. That one works really well because they've done it. They got a few minutes to get from wherever, get back to you, and it's their time, and then they have their day. That's
Okay.
what I found.
Cool. I'm winging it a bit on some of these things and just putting it on
Don't
and
we
just
all?
going, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, but the other
Change
thing I was
it.
trying to do was, I know my teacher then goes on to teach in the afternoon. So I was trying not to give her too big of a break between kind of, she comes in, does a couple of lunch classes, can get a quick feed or whatever, can rest for a couple of hours, then does all. So I was trying to just like
Staffing.
extend my classes that start from 3 o'clock to start them from 12 o'clock. So
when we have those, because we have them certain days, so we'll have it where they do the class at 9. Then there's someone who does some of the other stuff. They might do lesson plans. They might do answering, member retention calls. They might do, I don't know, different stuff like that. So that they're doing in those in between hours. So they end up being full time to then be able to fit morning classes and something that's valuable, and then afternoon classes.
we're outsourcing most of our stuff to VAs. So
but VAs can't really do your member retention calls as easily.
I agree.
Yeah,
they can't do a lot of the things. If you're not the teacher,
I have lots of VAs too. So
okay, cool.
And they can't really do like the lesson plans, I don't know. There's just
there's jobs that we can't outsource, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They don't have the skills for. We're hiring martial artists here, and we're hiring essentially salespeople as VAs, or people
Admin
with different
people.
skill sets too. Yeah.
Cool. I also get them to do promotions as well. Is probably I was trying to think of, well, what do they do? I should know. So they'll do classes at 9, but promotions as well. So what are the promotions that are coming up, and they'll coordinate that to then get the artwork all done. What are the internal stuff? What are we telling them, the instructors? And we have our instructor trainings too on some of those days as well. So they are filled up. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's all really interesting. I think like we're bouncing in similar territory, and we're kind of both trying to figure it out. Or like, you've been in the game a lot longer than I have. I've been doing other things, but I'm here now.
It's a fun place to be, though. It's a fun place to be. Yeah.
Obviously, we've got entire Sundays free, and based on my roster, I do have heaps of spaces that I could put classes in, or I could work around things to start putting in birthday parties, especially if it's such a big lead generator. I didn't think of it that way. It's sometimes you've just got to talk with somebody, and then it's like, aha.
Honestly, they're fantastic. They are fantastic. And you start, like, there's so many ways to get started. And that can be a booster just to your own student base, but it gets all these people in. And the
because
thing
you
is,
already know you've got the staff and you've got the skills. You're now just, how do we get bums on the seats to, how do we fill it up?
exactly, but they're a different lead type because they're not on a Facebook where maybe I'll come in or whatever. They've been into your physical school. And so they feel more comfortable than coming in. They're a friend of so-and-so. And then
they're super qualified, right?
Yeah.
In a way, they've made themselves more qualified. The second they've stepped in your doors and they've met your teachers, they now understand the culture. They understand what you do. Yes.
And that it's not a scary place is probably it. That it's a fun place. So yeah, it's one of the best things. And I just see it as people paying me to advertise.
Yep. with those kids camps, I'm guessing you've got a whole structure and a whole kind of routine that you do. Does a lot of that, is it just games that are martial arts based games? Is that basically what you're doing, or is there, because like if I ran a holiday camp, I would try to teach little bits of all the styles and the things that we do. So the kids that are doing kickboxing get to see a little bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and kind of have it as a cross, but also as a more relaxed and more fun thing. So if a brand new kid shows up, they don't feel out of their depth. I'm guessing that birthday parties, they're obviously a different set of rules.
They are. It has to be about fun and about a party. However, we've got martial arts the whole way through it. We kind of disguise it in a sense. Now they'll do martial arts and we teach them, our basic is we teach them kick, what do? They go front kick, punch, and then block. And we hit them on the head with the paddle. And all the kids love it. We then add in a roundhouse kick with that one. And then we hit the kids on the butt with the paddle to show them, you've got to turn your hips. So we add those in and that makes a game, of it because they're getting hit. Then the biggest game that's the most popular is poison ball with big yoga balls. Which to us is good for footwork, and we tell parents and we tell them as well, this is good for if you need to get out the way of somebody, you can move fast, so we do that. We do flying side kick and they kick our instructors off. They're sitting on the yoga ball with the shield, and they kick the instructors off and they break, fall down, that's cool fun. That's really popular. So they're the main things that we do. That's all martial artsy.
We've been doing at the end of our kids' holiday camps, we play 10-pin bowling with all the kick pads. We set them all up and they just get to crash into them. And because it's only a thing that we do there, they love it. They're like, they don't want to leave the second that somebody just goes, you can throw your body at some obstacles and just make a mess.
There's lots of cool stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like we've given them the red cordial before they go home to their parents.
Pretty much. We end the party with, here, let's have some cake.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's...
You guys don't provide any of that, right? With like a cake and things? You wouldn't provide that?
I don't provide the cake anymore. I used to. And it would cost me $30 for the cake. But I took it out mostly so I could go, well, I'm taking it out so I've got some more money and you bring your own cake. Some of these mums spend like $300 on these cakes. Like they're really cool cakes, but it's like, all right, no worries. I'm glad I took the cakes out. So, and it is a personal thing. Some mums like to make it, and stuff. So it's like, yeah, you look after that. It was a headache for us and it cost us $30. And I went, nah.
And then you've also got to go pick it up, and
exactly, it was a headache.
You've got to deal with refrigerating it and all. Yeah, it's not the one issue. It's all the other things, and then you're the one bringing the plates and the cutlery and the.
We just do it on napkins. They don't even get any of that stuff. I don't put any of that.
Okay.
Yeah. The paper towels that you rip up.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
There you go. There's your cake. Here, wrap it up. Off you go.
And I guess you can go, because some of the parents are going to be sitting, we have one knife for cutting the cake or something like that you probably keep on venue or something like that.
We have a knife, yep. They cut the cake with the samurai sword. Highlight of the party.
The kid cuts it with the samurai sword.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Highlight of the party. Yep. We tell the kids silently at the back. They have a practice because we have a big, an old Wave Master, the padding on it. And we get them to practice cutting on there while the kids are playing in one more game, just so they have a practice. And so they get it high and it's safety. And then we tell them $50 if you break the table. So these kids really go for it. So it makes it fun. Sometimes the cake jumps. It's cool. We also, for us, we also have one of the best things we did was we have one at each school location, a giant blow up obstacle ninja course that we bought. We imported them from China, and they're all with our logos and everything all over them. And that goes really well at the parties, because if you hire a jumping castle, it's like $400. right?
Yeah.
So we added on for that says our standard, our 580 package. So that's why hardly anyone buys the 480 package. They go for an extra $100.
For the
I'll
fancy
get that. Yeah, 680. They got more stuff. But what happened is when we got it, it just makes it. That's why we can run our parties with a lean team, because we have the ones that's like an obstacle. So 2 kids go through. So there's one person at the end going, go, they run through.
Yeah.
Go, they run through. Go, they run through. You don't get one that I have some people, friends I've said, that martial arts schools, and I go, oh, I've got one of these. So they get one of those things that you put 10 kids in and they're all bouncing around. And I said, I told you not to get that one. You're going to end up in tears. Some kid is going to headbutt someone else.
And you got 20 kids sitting up the side waiting to
Yeah,
headbutt
they're just
the
in
other
line.
kid,
They're happy to do it.
Yeah.
If we have another obstacle, I'll jump over this, roll through this, climb over this as they're getting back to get in line. So they're doing stuff, you know?
Yeah,
So,
we've usually made like an obstacle course out of the stuff that we've got.
Yeah.
Like, so we've got all those like standing kick bags. And so you can be like, kick, right kick, left kick,
yeah. And a maze.
do this,
along
then
and
run
stuff.
through.
Yeah.
And you set up like the ladders and other things like
Yep.
that. And
Yep.
you time them or whatever. You make it.
So
fun.
we have that on the outside as they're going through this giant blow up obstacle ninja course. And and that's also really cool to have at fates and churches and other community groups. You can we give it for free, so long as we can have a booth.
Okay, cool. How big are your venues?
We have, how big is it's 10 by 12, that room?
Our room, 12 by 13.
So we've got one, our main one has got 3 rooms. It's the big room is 12 by 13. The other one's
11 by 12.
11 by 12. Is that Oxenford?
Yeah.
Okay. So our main one at Mansfield has got 3 rooms. 12 by 13 is the big room. We've got a small room that I don't know.
So you've got a bit over 100 square meters of mats in your big room,
More
and
than
then
100 square. Yeah, and
Like-
then the other
like
one's like
120, 130.
140 squares in the big room. How much Dojo 2? How big is that?
Dojo 2's about 80 squares.
80 squares for Dojo 2, and then we've got a Dojo 3,
About 40 squares.
40 squares, and then our other school has 2 rooms. One is
120.
120 squares, and the other one's 70.
All right. I'm at least a little bit envious in mine. So my one mat space at Canterbury is 100 square meters, roughly in a venue that's obviously got bathrooms and other things. So it's like 200 square meter venue. And then the Peakhurst venue is about triple the size of mine, where it's got 100, like probably similar to what you've got, 120 and 100 or 130 and 100. So I'm limited a bit by space where I currently am. And I'm sure that will solve itself at some point where I split the venue, or which that's one of the things I'm thinking of doing longer term, is actually leaving all my fitness kickboxing program as the only program that runs where it is on this 100-meter mat, and taking my martial arts to another bigger center. So basically, rather than starting a brand new school, splitting the things that we've got and staying in the area and growing that way.
You have 2 rents then, 2 everythings then, and half the clientele would be my concern.
Yeah, you're going to shrink it so that it can grow, or you're going to divide it. And I guess you don't have 2 markets that you get to advertise to, where you've got 2 markets. If you take it 5 kilometers down the road, you're suddenly in a new market.
Yeah, and the one family can't all be there at the one time doing different things.
Yeah. Oh, I've got that problem right now. One mat means that they can't all be there.
Yeah, but they sort of hang around and go, or easy drop off. You go do your class, whatever, and then the mum will come back and do her class or something. So, yeah, I don't know about that one. If that would be, you'd have to weigh up the pros and cons on that one.
Yeah, that's a that's a bit of a big game. Okay, let's just lap back around quickly. I know we've already been on a call for a while. Yeah, well, there's so much crossover and so many things that we're doing similarly, and things that you're doing that are really cool that I'm like really inspired by. Ignite, how do we put it back into our schools? What's the minimum steps that you would say to add value out of the Ignite system that we're paying for?
The automations, like at my school, one of the things that is great, and I've been working, especially because I separated Logan's with our website ones. I'm sort of like, I'm a stats person. I like to go, what's working, what's not working, how do I tweak it, what do I change? So with the Logan ones, that one I have as a same automation, but because it's got a the mama tag, I then have that separate, and I can then know my numbers there easily and the conversions. With all of the Ignite automations, I don't know if you know much about industry standards for email open rates and things like that. Do you?
I've got some idea. They're not fantastic.
Yeah. So but in Aussie, 15 to 20% open rates is really good.
Yep.
On the ones that Ignite ones, I'm getting over 60% open rates. And by the time it gets to the end of the funnel of that first goal 1 funnel, most of them have either been opened or come off the list because they've booked in.
Yep.
So in my opinion, you need to put them in place, because no staff can do what that does and be that relentless at following up. But you just find the right mix and the right fit for you and your location. Everyone's a little bit different, you know, in their culture. I do highly recommend that. I've gone through and tweaked them. Only some of them. I don't have to do all of them, but some of them to tweak them.
Some of them are very American, right?
Some of them are like, I don't know, I'm a little bit easier going, you know, and I just like to have my flavor, my culture of my school in there. So I just make sure of that. But I didn't have to change many of the beginning ones. I maybe changed even some of the days, and I think I added a couple more days onto some of them to just sort of spread it out a little bit more.
Yeah, David's quite good at writing copy.
He's excellent at it. I mean, those conversion rates just say it totally. So it's just great. What's interesting is, and then it goes through for all of the, like once they're members and stuff, there's one there, goal 6, which is, I think it's goal 6. Yeah, get them to stay for life. That one I definitely edited. It's where there's basically one step, and once they're a member, to have them get a text message to say, hey, you attended so many days last week. You know, excellent, you know, oh, hey, oh, great to see you attended so many days last week on your way to black belt. And it was very much about the attendance number. And I was like, you know what, after a few times, I don't care. If I'm messaging them, they, because they have attended, then that's great. And so you can tweak that one. And I changed a fair few of those to be the type of things we would say, and maybe in class, hey, it was great to see so many great kicks, because we always do kicks, so it's not like
or you're looking to see, you know, great to see that you're showing real leadership skills, that you're helping new people, that, you know, they're very different things. To attendance marks one small part of the story.
But it is based on them coming to class. So I'd made them generic enough that, look, if it was said, then it could be true of any class. But I also put in there a couple of times, I put some of them, I said like from instructor Mia, some are from instructor Kevin. So it looked like different instructors were paying attention at different times. So that really made it, you know, custom to my school. So, and because that automation, they don't get the same message every time. So there's 16 different ones. So they get different ones all the time. It doesn't look like it's a, you know, automated thing.
When you lose a staff, how do you deal with that kind of thing? Because like you're creating like a back end flow that, what's going to trigger you to remember, oh, I need to take Kevin's name out of all those messages, or I need to. I
think because it's the only place I've got it where it is custom, that one. Yeah, because it is the same. It's going to my members for one thing, so I'm really protective over what goes to them. And it's the only, and it's on the one automation, it's just different steps. So it's the only place we have it custom for that. Otherwise, yeah, it It's the only one I've got. But that's why I tweaked that one to go. I just feel that one needs a bit more. But otherwise, the percentage conversion percentages that we get on the stuff that goes through Logan and even through our website, they're the same automation. It's really high. Like people are looking at the messages, they're reading them, and they're not just even reading the first one. Like I actually find number 1 of the email messages, number 1 and number 4 are the ones that people open the most.
Okay.
So like
Interesting.
over 60%.
I have one more question with your Ignite website. Do you have 2 separate ones, one for each of your venues?
This is one thing I wanted. Yeah. See, how do you do your SEO?
The SEO for the website is done specific to location, and then we obviously have the Ignite website where we're combined as well, but we're not interested in SEO for the Ignite website because that's not where we're sending people that are looking us up from Google. It's
Okay, you
simply
send them
just
somewhere else.
like, yeah, so if they come from Google, they go straight to that page. If they come from Facebook, then they go directly into the specific link that they're on here. So they're going directly into their page. And we've combined both venues here, but it's kind of been done in a little bit of a messy way. And I don't know why it's been done in a messy way. Basically, they created 2 logins where one says Peakhurst and one says Canterbury.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
I guess
because you have 2 Spark accounts. It's so that the leads from Peakhurst going to Peakhurst Spark account and the leads from Canterbury going to Canterbury account. But because you've got the multi-school location homepage, so at the top here, whichever one they choose, it still splits off to go into those particular and that form up the top there. It still splits off to go into the different Spark accounts. So if you have the 2, like you want to have the right leads in the right account.
Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then by having the 2 buttons, in all honesty, that's...
Oh, yeah, the 2 buttons is fine. What I mean is I've got 2 different WordPress backends. I've got a WordPress backend there's a WordPress backend for Peakhurst and there's a WordPress backend for Canterbury. Yeah,
so we've upgraded the multi-schools and you have the new homepage. You just don't have the other pages that are connected on the one, because you can have it all in the one.
Yeah, I would much rather it be made in the one because it's just confusing.
We can update that.
Spaces. Okay, cool. One of the other issue, I don't know whether you, or obviously if you know that you can update things, then you might be the person to talk to about some of the things.
Yep.
Okay, it's across the board. Peakhurst was listed as 2 separate words, as Peak then Hurst with another capital. That's not how it's spelt, and anybody that's actually from Peakhurst would not particularly like that we don't even know how to spell their own suburb name.
I can get that fixed.
Yeah, I figured it's a slow process for me to go through and fix every single one of the things on every single page, but a fast.
No, we just do it in one place.
Yeah, I just don't know where that place is to do that.
Yeah, Twitter's not so easy, but yeah, at least it's up there. That's good.
I was running into an issue with Logan yesterday as well, where I changed the redirect URL for my buttons and it did not link anywhere. It just said this form has been accepted, and did not go to the redirect URL that I told it to go to.
Did you do that in the form?
I did it in.
Can I? Do you have the link?
Let me see if I can find.
I'm just going to swap it over and jump into your site.
Yep.
So if you can unshare, and then we can.
Yeah, I can do that.
Back in. Or actually, it'd be better if I show you, so you know how to do it, if you like. Can you jump in the back end?
Yeah, I've changed across the links multiple times. So like I do know how to do it. It just didn't work this one time, and I didn't do anything
Sometimes
differently.
sometimes it's just computers, and you've got to go back and do it later when it's feeling friendly.
Okay.
But it'd be good to know. And if sometimes it could be they're updating or something, and it doesn't want to. I don't know. I just sometimes don't try and work the stuff out. I just go back and try again later, and if it works normally, but yeah, let's have a go.
Okay, give me just 1 second. I'm just grabbing. That's not what I need. Oh, maybe it is what I need. Okay, cool. We're in the pages, all pages. I think we were changing my kids' kickboxing classes.
Yeah, how to do it.
So usually I'd click on this button, then I click on the redirect
Yep.
URL, then I click on
Advanced.
advanced, then I changed over the link here. So
Yep.
that was kind of what I did. So this should be going to a Spark checkout page. I'm going to show you where it goes to. Yep.
That test person gets so many leads, so many emails. Oh,
So it
at least
hasn't redirected, and it said the form was sent successfully. It also means that I can merge all the test accounts very quickly. That's the reason that I always use that exact same formula, because I'm just like, grab all those tests and
You're one, go away. Okay, so which page is that one? And that's on which account?
that is on the Canterbury account, which I'll just grab you the stuff. Give me 1 sec. Chat.
Thanks. Because I'll get that one looked into. And have you tried it on the other site?
Have I tried it on the other site? Which
Did you need to change any others? Was it only?
well, I was going to change quite a few across. So the issue that I had, because on the website I'm going on so when I say the website, I'm referring specifically to our SEO driven website.
What's that domain? Is that just your integrated combat
That's
center?
the one that I sent you earlier.
Yep.
Because on that domain, I'm going directly checkout page then scheduler. Because the way the schedulers are linked in the back end, when you've got like a scheduler group, you can't have two separate scheduler groups that use the same group and have different URLs. And because the way that we've done it to have the calendar, it means that people are kind of wrapping around where they can go checkout page, book their thing, and then I've got a link and they end up back at the checkout page.
Okay.
And
okay, I'm with you. Yeah, because your calendar can only have one.
This end, so I've got I've got one working properly and one not working because of that, and it's confusing. So I was just about to change everything over to go checkout page calendar, even though I know that's not as good, and Logan doesn't think that's as good. But he thinks that if they pay and then they go through the scheduler, they're kind of like definitely coming in. That what we're doing is we're upping the quality of our leads. As I was kind of discussing, our quality of our leads has been way lower, and our conversion has reflected that in being lower because we've like supercharged this venue, but we're bringing in a bunch of people from Facebook that are just, oh, that looks cool.
Yep.
Not people that are like,
I'm looking
BJJ in my area that are like that. Well, firstly, they know what BJJ is, so that's a totally different thing. And that's just one of the growing kind of pains. But one of the ways that we can qualify people a bit more is if they pay for things, if they actually schedule in their class, if they're willing to put in the effort. And the second they pay for something, they'll show up for it. If you pay $10 for something, you better believe that they're going to come and give it a go.
Yep.
So that's kind of where I was leaning, and that meant that I've got to change heaps of stuff,
That does.
which is tricky and annoying. And one of the things that we had was the scheduler wasn't initially firing with the pixel code, and so Logan ended up putting in his like scheduler link thing, and it's a whole mess. It's a whole big
hey,
mess.
we do know about the scheduler, the code with that one, and they're working on that one at the moment.
Okay.
There was some sort of an issue with both the checkout and the scheduler. The checkout's been sorted with those codes firing, but the scheduler one they're still working on.
Yeah, so we just found like a way around that, which I guess I can show you by, which is to have Logan insert his thing. More tests. My test guy loves me. So then it goes, because it's got this and it's the Martial Arts for Life, it's actually Logan's thing, and we can see that the pixel code's fully firing here on that when they're booking in for their trial. And then this would end up taking them to the checkout page.
Yeah, that's our next plan. If it's not fixed soon, just to do very similar to that and just have it in a page. So
yeah, but this is where you've got, this is where I was talking about the issue. I may as well show you while we're here, just so, because I think you can appreciate the issues that I'm going through as much as anybody, because you've got your own schools and your own things. It's different. I'm
sure a little bit different to everyone else on the team.
Yeah. No, but that's cool. You need that. So they get to this spot, right? And they've booked their session. I would want this not to have directed them to here. I would have wanted this to direct them straight to the checkout page, because they actually need to click this continue button, and then that continue button triggers the checkout page. And you can see how it's kind of a mess, and the formatting of the checkout page is kind of bad because it's in Logan's thing. So now it's not running this as a sidebar. And so it's all a bit of a hodgepodge way around it. But yeah.
But why do you have the why do you have the checkout page embedded on there? And it doesn't just go to the link.
It should just go to the link. I don't know.
That's
why.
embedded on Martial Arts for Life. If you just went to you would have the sidebar on there with just the Spark.
If I just go from that to
calendar to straight to your Spark link of your checkout, it'll have the sidebar.
Yeah, and it'll look neater and it'll format better, and
So I can do that.
I can deal with that with Logan, but I think
because as well, I can understand why you may have done it before, but if it wasn't firing and you need that to be firing, but that is now fixed. So if you're having any issues with it, then you just let me know and I can have a look.
Yeah, it was a short-term solution for the problem, but then it kind of just solved the problem. But yeah, it's not ideal. It's not how the system's designed to work. And when you want to do something in a way that's not the way the system's designed to work, you end up with it being a little bit messy.
Yeah. But that part you can now fix, and I see what you want. And then, yes, I agree. But I might find out and ask for you about that to see if there's a way to go from direct to the calendar without stopping at the that interim page.
Without stopping at that button.
Yeah, which is really so they can book it in. I can understand why they did it, because too many people are saying, hey, we want them to get the details about the appointment. So they have that button there to be able to click and you can book into Google. But if you do that, you're not going to get to your checkout page either.
Yeah, it's only if we think that getting people to, if you've got free trials, you want people on the scheduler, like you don't care about a checkout page.
No, exactly.
So then suddenly you have that same thing. And then if you want to redirect them somewhere else, like to your website for more information or to your video for more information, then you're going to run into that same problem. They're not going to click that button half the time. And that button makes your whole setup way better.
Mm.
So having that kind of stop of more buttons to click is just going to have
Yeah,
a
more
natural
stops there
full
rather less
frame
like you
attach.
do it. Cool.
Yeah, yeah. We're trying to make the process as easy as it can possibly be.
Cool.
So
to get back your Ignite stuff in there, I think the easiest way is going to be for you to decide on what the messages are that you want to send out and at what frequency. A lot of them work, like it works. And then just introduce those in. And then what I've had to do as well.
Okay, so my one down the bottom actually worked, but my one up the top did not.
Okay, and then
For
that
the
goes
same
straight
page.
to your checkout there.
I just wanted to check because yesterday it was doing a weird different thing. So now it's actually, it took a while to find it, but then it did actually work. So the bottom link worked and the top link on
Looks
the same
like
page. Not.
your timers aren't working.
Okay.
I'll
Yep.
have a look at those too.
That makes sense. I have no idea how to fix things like that. That's definitely not.
If you just click on the timer, see the timer over there where it says the 0 days. If you click on that one.
Oh yeah.
There, on the blue bit.
Oh, and just up the
timer. Just click on it and I'll tell you. Yeah, over there where it says type due date on the left.
Yep.
Just change that to evergreen. And then you get to choose, if that one says 6 hours, we normally put like 29 days, so there's something, but you can choose whatever you want.
Yeah.
So you have to just go.
So you could
284 hours, I think it is, off the top of my head.
Oh, so you set a heap of hours.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to
I
set.
think that's how they do it. Yeah. There.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I can see. That's cool.
Yeah, so you just have to make sure it's evergreen.
Okay.
For some reason, yours was on due date. So what happens is it will stop. It won't be working for when people go there if it's past that due date. And you just make sure that they're the same, so that the top and bottom's the same. Yeah. Just so you know.
By doing them both at the same time, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be the simplest way. They're going to be out by a few seconds.
Yeah, they don't notice that.
This one and this one, but like whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, sweet.
Yeah.
And so every time you load back into the page, it's just going to start it at 5 days again. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I understand a little bit how stuff works.
Cool. Alrighty, well, I might get your site just like checked. I can get it changed over to be the one login for you. But I don't want to do that if you're messing around with stuff. We need to do it at the right timing so that you're not wasting your time too. Do you know what I mean? Like.
Yep. Yeah, I'm happy to, like, I meet up with Logan on Wednesdays, and then usually after that, he's going to set me a bunch of stuff to do. So that's kind of how my week works. I'll work in the next few days after that to try and, make good value of the time that I spend with him.
Mm-hmm.
I just do privates with him 1 hour a week, and we just go through all our stuff. I don't actually run through his whole network of things, mostly because I actually wanted to learn the skills myself as much as possible. And so actually forcing myself to do it, and then, after I've done it for a year, I can give it to somebody else if I decide I don't want to do it. But yeah, I don't know what approach you have in that space. But yeah, that's the setup that I've got going.
It's good to learn the skills, I think, because then you can choose, am I going to do it? And then as well, if you put someone else on, you can go, well, I know if you're doing a good job or not.
Yeah, you can go and you can watch and you can be like, well, why was I getting way better results than people that I'm paying thousands of dollars to? Yeah.
Yeah, I use his where he has a service where it's, I don't know how you like it's based on results. And he gets paid on that, so that works for me.
Cool.
So I will get them to change it over to one site.
Yeah, that will make my life much simpler because I'm logging in
to the two
to
of them
both at the moment and solving all the things, or solving all the pages. Also, there's a lot of duplication of pages that have never been deleted where I don't know, they upgraded things or they changed things and they created a double page, and there's just like
Yeah, I'll just get it tidied
David's
up.
back end has like 16 pages and it's only showing like 6 that you can actually click into. So
Okay, all right.
there's a lot of duplication, like kind of the virtual trials and stuff like that, things that don't need to be there. Which then, if the thing's wrong and it's there, I could go in and update the wrong page. And I'm sure you've done it before, where you've
Yeah.
updated a whole thing and you're like, oh, this
Yeah.
isn't even the link that I was supposed to
This
be
is the
updating.
one. What's going on? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, and first you're like, why isn't it working? And then you figure it out, and then you're like, I'm so dumb.
You feel it, but it's like, oh, I can understand because it shouldn't be messy in the first place. I'll get it done to one site. I'll get all the virtual stuff all removed. I'll get that form looked at and just get the other ones, you know, have a look at those to make sure they are working. What else have I got on here? Do I have? Oh, this is all you here. I will just also add you to the list, which sort of everyone will be covered, but of when the which is it, the calendar onto embedded onto a page. So when that's fixed for triggering your Facebook pixel, or Google Analytics, I'll keep you up to date on what's happening with that and where we're going with that one. I'm sure they're just going to fix it because they fixed the other one for the
I think
checkouts.
Fadley was bouncing off me a bunch at the start, and then Logan just took over and it's just like, I'll fix it. I'll just make it work for you. And then I'm like, well, there's only so much I can dump into fixing it with the team at points. Sometimes I'll just go, well, if you've got a solve that works, then that's a thing that I don't have to worry about right now. So that's, yeah. I think I helped the problem up to a point, and then I like went, see ya.
I understand totally. Yeah, that's right. And in all honesty, with Ignite, we're working on improving the customer service and how quickly we get back to people about things. So we do have some more people coming on for that, because we have heard, listened, and gone, okay, we need to solve some of these and make sure we give good customer service too. But
I think this makes it really easy now. I know you're the link in Australia. It makes the most sense that I'd be chatting with you. We also have the most in common as far as what we're doing and what our roles are. And so I think
we'll become buddies.
Yeah, definitely. This is how it happens with all the staff. Amy loves chatting with me, so she keeps trying to bring me into doing all the training meetings and stuff.
And you're like, I will do that, Amy, if they just run at the stupid time.
Yeah, if I don't have to get up at 7 a.m. to do it, I'll do it at 9.
Yeah. Alrighty. Are they the main things there that I can help you with?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think we can come back to integration with the Ignite stuff and get us back on board, because obviously we've lost a little bit of faith in that system.
It's got a bit messy for you, so if we can tidy it up and get it working, and get it back in play. I know it works. It's because I see it at my own school to go, I've got these conversion rates that are just like, I love going in there, to be honest, and looking at it and going, I kind of think, at first I was like, nah, this is just for this bit because it's a new campaign. It just was, and I keep going back in there and the numbers are like so the same, I'm like, it's still above 60%. And it's like, oh, it's cool because my staff didn't have to do it. So.
Yeah. When you're like, it's basically like a free thing. It's 5 less calls that it's 2 less calls, but I've got to schedule them and organize them, and the more that you can take load off our shoulders,
the more we can concentrate on giving good classes. Yep. I agree. Alrighty.
All right, we're on the same page.
Yeah, I'll get things done. I'll
if you can
send you.
send me through the link, either you can get me on Facebook or you can get me through the back end of either of the Spark accounts or whatever works for you. You've got plenty of ways. You've got my number as well. So
Yeah. Sometimes I just go, "Oh, I'll just text people."
yep, that worked.
Yeah, that's good. Well, now I know. I'm under you. Cool. And I might hit you up for some more info about kickboxing, because if that's killing it for you, then and I can help you with parties.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Have
Thanks
a great
for your
day.
time. Bye.
See ya.